Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about Saints and Sinners season 6 episode 1, Fruit of the Vine. So this is the final season of Saints and Sinners. It's kind of bittersweet because I love the show, so of course I would love for it to go another season, but then I'm just happy that it's going to be able to wrap everything up in a nice bow. So I always like when that happens. So I'm definitely going to be covering every episode of season 6. So if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I make an upload. Now before you watch this video, I want y'all to go ahead and y'all make sure that y'all are tuned in and y'all watch the show. It airs on bouncetv. You can also catch it streaming on the Brown Sugar app, and also it may also be on the bouncetv app. I'm not exactly sure, but you all can check your local listings. I also have a little playlist for you guys too, so check out my previous uploads that I've done on season 5 as well to kind of catch you up to speed. So this season picks up 5 months after the events of the last episode from last season. So we all know that Victor is gone. He's no longer with us. He is dead. The big bad wolf is gone. And Miles is still in a coma. Five months later and Miles is still in a coma. That's crazy. Ella this episode gave me the feeling that she's trying to distance herself from all the criminal activities and the human trafficking and the organ harvesting that was going on last season. So you know, she's no longer the mayor, but now she's working on a special task force to try to get to the bottom of these kidnappings in the organ ring, which is so crazy because, you know, eventually she's going to find out that the main people that's a part of this is her mama, which is the brains, Leona, and then her daughter Christy. Here she being strong-armed, or maybe she's a willing accomplice now. I guess we'll have to figure it out, because maybe the money done changed her mind and she with it, you know, as far as stealing the medications from her and the equipment from her hospital and helping Leona. Maybe she with it now. The task force that Ella is working with, they are seeing that like the kidnappings and everything in Cyprus has started to calm down, although, you know, it's still at an all-time high in Athens. So in this episode, I noticed that a lot of things is pointing towards Athens. Trouble is coming from Athens into Cyprus. She's working with the special prosecutor, which I'm kind of sensing a little bit of chemistry. So that may be Ella's new love interest as well. So the task force has Officer Richards. Is it Richards or Richardson? They have him in custody and they trying to get him to snitch on who's been in charge of like this organ trafficking ring and everything, and he ain't cracking. Ella like, let me talk to him if I can get him to crack. They like, nah, we done did everything we can do. So she gets in there, she's talking to him and stuff, and he basically putting it out there like, you need to go check your man, you know what I'm saying, your baby daddy and your son Kendrick, like who you thought was driving them trucks and everything. So then she's putting 2 and 2 together. She's thinking like, what in the world, what Rex done got up into? And so of course she goes and confronts Rex about it, and he's, you know, telling her like, hey, I ain't the boss, you know what I'm saying, I don't know who the boss is, you know what I'm saying. So she's trying to figure out who it is. Then we got Levi. He's over here, he's taking over the TV show now that Jabari's locked up, because you know Jabari got locked up last season because Angela, she released a flash drive showing that the footage of Jabari killing his mother. So Jabari is locked up and Angela is missing. We try to figure out what happened to Angela. As you know from last season, Paige called Uncle Ray Ray. Uncle Ray Ray sent somebody popped up in her car, so Paige is missing. We like, oh, what happened to Paige? And poor Kendrick, he's still grieving really heavy, you know, about the death of Stacia, how she blew up kaboom last season and everything. He's still living in the house. He's drinking heavy, and then he having delusions. He's like envisioning her and stuff. He going crazy in his mind. And so Christy is trying to, you know, be there for him and support him, make sure he's okay. And she's like, you know what, you need to try to live your life positively and find a way to honor Stacia. And so that gives Kendrick the bright idea. You know, Kendrick don't have too many of those. But anyway, he knows that before Stacia died, she was trying to figure out where she came from, because she found out that she was one of the babies that Leona had kidnapped and stuff when she was a baby. So she wants to find out where her birth parents are. And so where does Kendrick go? He goes to Leona, of all people, his grandmother. I'm like, this lady gonna try to kill you how many times? So you going to her for answers, and you like, yeah, well, maybe you'll help her, you know, help Stacia since she's no longer here, blah, 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 blah. Maybe, you know, do you think that this lady really cared? She really don't. But anyway, he's telling her that he's been trying to do some research on his own because he has a name and everything, but just so many names. Leona ends up pointing him in the direction of Athens. And so she's saying that, you know, basically Stacia's family is from Athens. So now Kendrick is on this mission and he's going to go to Athens. Here's Athens again, you guys. He's going to Athens to get some information about Stacia's birth family. So Jabari is locked up. And, you know, he's trying to figure out, it ain't looking too good for him because they got video evidence and stuff. So Paige coming to visit him with the lawyer and everything. They saying, you know, the fact that Angela's missing, this making it look bad too. Because it's like, did you have anything to do with it? And he asking Paige, did you have anything to do with Angela being missing? And she's like, but we can all tell that Jabari still has feelings for Angela. After everything that she done did, he's still carrying the torch for her. But I'm like, excuse me, but your wife right here, this the Bonnie to your Clyde. How dare you disrespect her like that? Like, even if she did, and what? If she did get him missing, so what? He's in prison. He's getting approached by this old man. Old man, like, don't you work? Didn't you used to work with Rex? And he's like, yeah, like, who are you? You know, get smart, because, you know, you got to show that you're tough up prison and stuff. Old man comes around later. He starts mentioning Jabari's father and stuff like that. So Jabari's like, you know, I know that my father died when I was young, but he went out like a G. And then the old man's like, nah, your father went out like a punk. So you know that gets tussling and everything. So then the guards come and break it up. And then Jabari's like, how do you know about my father? And stuff like this. This is putting the idea in our head, like, what in the world, what's going on with this situation? Who is this old man, and how does he know about Rex, and how does he know about Jabari's father? And I'm thinking maybe that's connected, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Rex killed Jabari's father. Maybe that's just added to the bodies that Rex done did. And I know that would totally devastate Jabari, especially since he looked at Rex like a mentor and a father figure. Meanwhile, Rex is working with Tamara, and he's like in charge of the shipments from Upsurge. And everybody looking at Tamara like, you know, you underqualified for this, which I believe she underqualified to be running Upsurge too, as Upsurge CEO. So, you know, she got the directors breathing down her back, and then Rex tells her that the shipment has been hit, it's been robbed, and it's like the third time that it's been robbed, and it's been robbed when it was coming through Athens. So Tamara's like, you know, we got to figure out what's going on. So Rex like, don't worry about it. Rex shows up in Athens because apparently he, you know, he an underground boss. He an underboss basically. So he know who's running things in Athens. He goes down to this seedy looking club, goes in the back room, and he approaches this guy, and comes out that this guy is Ray Ray. This is the infamous Uncle Ray Ray that Paige called in the last season, and that got Angela up missing. So apparently Ray Ray is like the Rex of Athens, I guess. So, you know, he's showing, you know, respect to Rex and stuff, but, you know, he's still showing, you know, his dominance and stuff. So Rex is like, you know, I let it slide when y'all hit my truck the first time. He said, but, you know, it's gonna be some problems. Y'all need to leave my stuff alone. You know, he gets to knocking stuff out the way and stuff like that. So he's basically threatening Ray Ray to, you know, leave Cyprus alone. That's his territory. You stay over here in Athens, you leave it alone. Which we know Ray Ray ain't gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? Tamara is contacting Rex again, and she's like, you know, we got a tip about the shipment. Opens up the doors, and there's the shipment. So it's looking like Rex is actually pretending like the shipment is getting hit, and he's keeping the product. So the board directors, they end up voting Rex out. So Rex feels betrayed because, you know, him and Tamara, they got history together and stuff. They supposed to be, you know, partners and stuff. He's like, you wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for me and stuff. Now she got Bert and Ernie escorting him out the building. Just a shame. And she even gave him a check for all his trouble. I'm like, girl, you already know Rex. He ain't going down without a fight. He gonna get you back. You know what I'm saying? And so Tamara has been the one that's been footing the bill for Miles' medical expenses and stuff, and he's gonna need long-term care because he almost died. She shows up at the hospital because the doctor called her, and Josie is there, her ex-best friend Josie. She's like, what you doing here? You shouldn't be concerned with him. He's mine now. Da, 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 da. You should be making decisions for him. And Tamara's like, he's my child's father. Of course I'm going to be involved in his care, and you know, I can afford to take care of him. So, you know, this is what's going to happen. So Josie up here pitching a fit, which some nerve of her, being as though she's a whole man stealer. But then we come to find out that Josie is working with Rex. Because after Rex gets fired, he shows back up at outside Ray Ray's spot, and he gets Josie to lure one of Ray Ray's men over. And so they kidnap him and they bring him out into the woods. So he's questioning him about what Ray Ray's up to and everything. And then he shoots the guy. And he gonna hand the gun to Josie, and she's holding it and stuff. She's like, oh my God, like what I done gotten into? Because apparently it looks as if Rex is giving her money to do like these underhanded crime stuff with him, and maybe she's using the money to try to take care of Miles. You know, she ain't pulling in enough through that club that she work at. So she's like, you know, I'm not to be even, you know, she's trying to separate herself from him, from Rex and stuff. And he like, you know, it ain't over till I say it's over. You ain't paid your debt till I say you pay your debt. Jabari's lawyer ends up telling him, you know, that off the record, it hasn't been released as public knowledge, but a body has been located, and, you know, DNA is showing that it is Angela. So Jabari's like, oh my God, like what happened? Like who could have possibly done this? I find it kind of fishy because I'm like, how did the lawyer know this information but it hasn't been released? Like, of course Levi would have definitely broadcast that on the news, especially since, you know, they are, you know, on a hunt to try to find Angela and everything. They putting forth, you know, they put her name and her picture out there to the news. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, that would have been public knowledge. Why would just the lawyer have that information? I was expecting for us to be saying a lot of Jabari in jail. I thought he was going, you know, be in there for a minute because I mean, video evidence. How you gonna, you know, get out of that? We see that who comes to visit Jabari? No one other than Mr. Ray Ray himself. So he comes to visit Jabari, and he's telling Jabari, like, you know, you free to go. That flash drive came up missing. And yeah, he's, you know, basically like, you know, I'm working with your wife and stuff. So Jabari's like, huh, my wife? So he goes home, and, you know, Paige is so excited to see him, wrapped her arms around her baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, he home, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you know, he tells her, like, I know you had something to do with Angela. I know you had her killed. And her eyes get big. And the first thing I thought, I said, Jabari gonna choke the mess out of her. I already know, you know, Jabari, he got anger issues, you know what I'm saying? But she basically a mob wife. I mean, come on now, you know? So I'm thinking that they both need to be sleeping with one eye open, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, Jabari might choke the mess out of Jabari might choke the mess out of Paige, and then hey, Paige might shoot him or she might shank him, you know what I'm saying? So he need to watch out for her too. And then Kendrick, he's down there in Athens and he's trying to get some answers. He winds up at the strip club trying to find Stacia's relative. So he's, you know, giving out the name to the folks that's there, and they're like, we don't know who that is in the world. So he's sitting there, he's at the bar, he's taking a drink, and so they're like, you know, presented to the stage, Sapphire or whatever. And out comes this, you know, exotic dancer looking exactly like Stacia. It's like Stacia has a twin, but this girl got blue hair and a nose ring. I said, oh my goodness, I love when like shows like soap operas and stuff like that like have a long lost twin that appears in the show out of nowhere or whatever. It's like a little twist and stuff. I said, oh my goodness, like Stacia has a twin, like this is gonna be great. So then I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe Kendrick can have his happy ending. You know what I'm saying? He can get with the twin and he can live in that house that Stacia paid for, and you know, just have his happy ending. Because if anybody deserves a happy ending, it is Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? He's like the only saint, you know, saint-like person in the whole show. Everybody else is just sinning, you know what I'm saying? They need to repent. But Kendrick, he deserves his happy ending. It's my theory that, you know, the lawyer was paid by Ray Ray, and that Angela may not really be dead, and that Ray Ray had the lawyer tell Jabari that, so he'd be thinking that Angela is dead, but really Angela's not dead, and maybe he put her back on the street as a streetwalker, or maybe she's being held captive or something. You never know. But you know, we didn't see no body. We don't know for sure. I'm thinking that, you know, she may still be alive. I guess we'll see. Alright, you guys, well, that's my little recap of the first episode of the new season of Saints and Sinners. I am excited. It started off with a bang. This was a very explosive episode, and it's leaving me with a lot of questions that I'm looking to be answered throughout the season. Like, you know, what's going to happen once Ella finds out that Leona and Christy are behind this whole organ ring with the women disappearing? Like, is she going to try to cover it up? I think she's probably going to try to cover it up. That's my theory. And what kind of havoc did y'all think that Ray Ray is going to cause once he, you know, enters in from Cyprus and stuff? You know what I'm saying? What history does he have with Paige and his exploits that he's had in Athens? I love how this season is incorporating the mythological conflicts between Athens and Cyprus. Like, that is just genius writing, in my opinion. I'm also looking forward to knowing more about Jabari and his past and what's going on with Rex. So yeah, drop down in the comment section and let's talk about this latest episode. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I make an upload. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.